Okay, I will start today's session. So from today onwards, we are going to discuss about Unit 6. So that is reliability considerations in design. At the beginning of this course also, we discussed about reliability in brief. Okay, in this unit, we are going to discuss about reliability in detail, and we are going to solve few problems related to reliability of a system. These are the contents: reliability considerations in design, bathtub curve, exponential reliability function, system reliability concept, and there are problems. Okay. So this is the objective of this unit. So you must be able to apply reliability concepts in system design. So introduction. So there are some aspects when we discuss about reliability. So these are the fundamentals for considering the aspect of reliability in design. Every product that is designed, fabricated, and used as a finite life. Okay, so as individuals, we use various types of products, from laptop, pen, mobile phone, even t-shirt, pants. So like that, we use different variety of products, and we have an idea regarding the life of each product. Okay, if you consider laptop, okay, what is the expected life of a laptop? So if you purchase a laptop, so how many years you can use that laptop? What is your expectation? What is the expected life of laptop? Or any computer? What is the expected life of computer or laptop based on your experience or your observation? Akash? Deepak Kitchen. Okay, so
Yes, sir.
what is the life laptop?
Hello.
Hello, laptop ಎಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷ ಬಳಕೆ ಬರುತ್ತಾ?
Sir, idea ಇಲ್ಲ sir.
Idea ಇಲ್ಲ. Okay. So others who are using laptop or computer system, what is the life of computer or laptop? Desktop or laptop? Okay, Puneet is saying up to destroy of motherboard.
6-7 years, sir.
6-7 years. Okay,
Yes, sir.
Puneet, why will you destroy motherboard? Huh? Up to destroy of motherboard. So will you destroy, or gradually it will wear out? Okay, 8 to 10 years. Okay, if you consider mobile phone, what is the expected life of a mobile phone? If you purchase a mobile phone, how many years you can use that? So almost
Around 3 years, sir.
3 years. Okay. So like that, if you consider any product, we know it is having finite life. That means you cannot use a product for n number of years, that is 100, 200 years. Even we will not live for that much years, that is secondary. But so generally, most of the products will have a finite life. That means you can say if it is mobile phone, 2 to 3 years. If it is laptop, 6 to 8 years. Okay, so if it is a television, 5 to 6 years. Like if it is a car, 15 years. Okay, if it is a motorbike, 15 years. Or again, you can get FC and you can use it for 10 more years, 25, 15 to 25 years. Like that, every product is having its life. Okay, that is the meaning. Every product that is designed, fabricated, and used as a finite life, like 5, 10, 15, 18 years, like this. After a definite life period of service, the product ceases to perform the desired function effectively. This kind of failure is called as wear out or burnout failures. Okay, so you are expecting a laptop to work properly for 8 years, After 8 years, if the laptop fails to work, if it is not working, so that is called as burnout or wear out failure. It has provided service for the expected period of time. Okay, if you consider mobile phone, if it is not working after 3 years, you don't have any issues since you are expecting it to work only for 3 years. If it fails after 3 years because of usage, because of wear out of parts, okay, so it is a expected failure. You are also expecting it will after 3 years or after 10 years it will fail. So depending on the product, okay, so these type of failures are called as wear out or burnout failure because of the wear out of parts, because of usage. This type of failure will occur. This is a natural failure for any product. So these are expected failures. The designer is not worried of this mode of failure. The reason is since it is provided the assured life, customer also will not blame the company. Okay, if laptop fails after 8 years of service, so no consumer will blame the company and no one will criticize about its quality. That's why so people are not worried. Okay, if a product fails after its useful life. Sometimes products fail to perform in a very early stage of their use, though they are designed to function for a much longer time. This kind of failures are called chance failures. Okay, so you bought a laptop thinking that I can use it for 6 to 8 years, but after 3 or 4 months, if there is a problem in the laptop, okay, if it is not working, that is a chance failure. Okay, if you are having a car and if there is some problem in the engine after 6 months, that is a chance failure. You are expecting to use a car for 15 years and after 6 months only, so it is having some problem. Okay, there are issues with the car. So those type of failures are called as chance failures, and designer should concentrate on this chance failures. The reason is if a car is not work not if it is not possible for you to drive the car after 6 months, okay, if there are problems with the car, then obviously that will affect the brand value of the company, or that will affect the product also in the market. Okay, so that's why even designers or even company is worried about chance failures. Okay, whereas expected failures, even consumers know after its useful life every product has to fail. That is the known thing, that is the natural failure. Company also don't worry about that. Whereas chance failures, that means when a product fails before the assured life, so then company has to take corrective actions, okay, so that it can avoid to the maximum possible extent the occurrence of these chance failures. Manufacturer can cover chance failures to some extent by following ways. Okay, even though companies can try to reduce the possibility of chance failures, but it is difficult to design any system which is 100% fail proof. It is almost impossible to design any system which is 100% fail proof. Okay, but companies always put effort to reduce the probability of chance failures. So by enforcing the quality inspection procedures strictly on outgoing products, companies can reduce the possibility of chance failures. That means if the quality inspection procedure is proper, okay, so if there are defective products, so they are rejected at the production stage itself. Okay, so instead of sending those defective products to market, in the company itself they can be identified and they can be rejected there itself. Okay, so that is with the help of proper inspection procedures. So that is one way. So next, debugging a product by running it for some duration in the factory itself before it is released to the market. Okay, this is another way, like test driving a car. Okay, so before releasing any new model of car, companies will conduct a lot of tests. Okay, even impact, they will do this impact test and impact analysis. If a accident occurs, okay, how that will have an impact on the body of the car, okay, how the driver or the people inside the car will get affected. All those studies will be done before releasing a car into market. Other than that, even performance test will be conducted. The reason is, after releasing market, if there is some problem in a product, then that will affect the company image. Even consumers will lose trust on the particular product. That means the product will become unreliable. Okay, when a product is considered as unreliable in the market, the product will lose its value. Okay, then people will hesitate to buy that product. And even company has to look for other approaches, like reducing the cost of the product and other things. Okay, so that's why companies always try to reduce chance failures as much as possible. So debugging is nothing but it is about detecting the failure, okay, before releasing a product into market. That means it is testing the product in the company itself. Next, by allowing warranty periods. You know, for most of the products, there is warranty period. It may range from months to years. Okay, so for most of the products, 6 months to 1 year is the warranty period. That means if the product, there is some issues with the product within 6 or 1 year, then consumer can go to the service center. Okay, if it cannot be repairable, again you may get a new product. Okay, so most of you have experienced this. Okay, ಏನಾದ್ರು ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಅದು ಬೇಗ ಕೆಟ್ಟೋದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಕಂಪ್ನಿ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದಲೇ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಡಿಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಗಿವ್ ಎ ನ್ಯೂ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ದಿ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ given to you. Okay, so that is a mechanism in which they are addressing these chance failures. Okay, and you can consider a few cases where products are taken back because of defects identified after releasing them to market. Okay, a few years back, one mobile company took a particular handset, okay, after releasing it to the market. I think you might have heard this. Okay, which mobile company has taken its handset back?
Samsung.
Okay, Samsung. Okay, so because of the problem in the battery, okay, while charging, some batteries have burst. So because of that issue, what Samsung did was it took back a model. Okay, so now assume why Samsung is taking back the so lakhs or crores of mobile handsets they are taking back. Then assume or analyze how much loss it will cause to the company. Okay, similarly you can consider another example in the aviation sector. Okay, so in aviation also, so some after analyzing defects in planes, okay, one company took back a particular product, okay, which is that company, so Boeing. Okay, so they have taken back because of the problem in the engine. Okay, so these are the cases, these are the consequences related to failure. Okay, so if it is not possible to identify failure before releasing a product to market, the consequences of very severe. Again, last to Boeing, so it will be in terms of thousands of crores. Last to Samsung company, it will be in terms of thousands of crores. Okay, if a company is concentrating on building a brand value in the market for them, okay, so these are the severe damages and it is difficult to come out of this damage. Okay, so trust na build ಮಾಡೋದು it is very difficult. ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು one product ಈ ತರ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಇಮೇಜ್ಗೆ ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ಅದರಿಂದ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅವರು once again it is difficult for them to build trust. It will take a lot of time to build brand value for a product and retaining that brand value in the market. Okay, so that's why companies will always concentrate on quality inspection, okay, ensuring that defects will not be released to defective products will not be released to market. Even though, so since it is, you cannot design a 100% fail-proof system, so they have these mechanisms like giving warranty periods and giving exchange offer if there is problem with the product. These are some of the uh, initiatives taken by the companies. Okay. Next, failure curve. Okay, this is a typical failure curve for any product. Even it is applicable for human beings. Okay, if you consider human beings. Okay, what is the average life expectancy of us? ನಾವು ಎಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷ ಬದುಕಬಹುದು?
60 years, sir.
60 years. Okay, during which time there is a more possibility that we may die. ನಾವು ಸಾಯೋ ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಯಾವಾಗ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ? ಯಾವ ಏಜ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ? If you consider 60 years lifespan of human being, okay, so above 60, then what about initial stages?
Near 50.
Near 50. Okay, so even if you consider the death rate of newborn children because of malnutrition or other reasons, okay, even newborn children will die. Okay, so the death rate will be more between 0 to 1 year, then above 60 or above 55. Okay, so same thing is applicable for a product. Okay, similar trend is applicable for any product. Okay, so that is identified by this failure curve. If you go to buy a bulb, okay, so for a shop, what will they do? So simply they will give you a bulb or they will test whether it will work or not. So always they will keep a holder. Okay, they will insert the bulb to holder and they will say, okay, so not sorry there. Then they will nowadays, so this for this LED bulbs, so there is a warranty period. Okay, so they will say 6 months, within 6 months if there's problem with the bulb, we can, okay, so give it back and take new one. So there is assured life for the bulb. So before giving that bulb also, they will insert that bulb to holder and they will write the date and then they will give you. So the reason is, again, they also know the possibility that if a defective bulb given to the consumer, there is a possibility. Okay, to overcome that possibility, there itself, so they will insert the bulb to holder, they will check, and then they will give that to you. After that, hardly it will not fail. It will not fail within 6 months or 1 year, assured life. Okay, after 6 or 1 month, the possibility that it will fail is more. Okay, so that means initial stage of a product, the failure rate is more. Once it survives for initial days, then it will become it can have its life. Okay, so then after its useful life, again the possibility of its failure is more. Based on that, we have this failure curve. Okay, so we consider for any product, the product life can be considered in 3 phases: phase 1, phase 2 and phase 3. Phase 1 is the initial life of the product. That means immediately after manufacturing a product, it may be working properly or it may be a defective product. Okay, so phase 1 is about identifying those defective products. Okay, so during this you can find more number of defectives, or the possibility that a product will fail is more during its early days. ಓಕೆ, ಈಗಷ್ಟೇ ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ನೀವು ಅದನ್ನ ರನ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಅದು ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗ್ದಲೇನೂ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದೋಸ್ ಡೇಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ಫೇಸ್ 1. ಒನ್ಸ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಚೆಕ್ಡ್ ದಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್, ಸೊ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂದಮೇಲೆ ಅದು ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಫೇಲ್ ಆಗೋ ಚಾನ್ಸು ತುಂಬಾ ಕಡಿಮೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ವಿ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ phase 2. Okay, where product is working properly after its manufacture, then it is released to the market. Then also few products will fail, but the number of products or the probability of this type of failure is very less. Then after its useful life, that means if you consider a laptop after 8 years, the possibility that the laptop will not work is more. That means it will fail rapidly after its useful life, even for human beings after 60 years. So now okay, that means the chance of failure, okay, is more. Okay, so this is the failure curve. It includes 3 phases: phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. Phase 1 is debugging. Debugging means after manufacturing a product, okay, it will be tested for defects. Company will do quality inspection, okay, after production. If there are defective products, they are rejected, okay, only accepted products will be released to market. That is the debugging. Debugging is the process of identifying faulty products, okay. Next, in case of chance failure, the product is released to the market, and this is the expected life. In case of laptop, okay, so the life is 8 years. So that 8 years will comes under chance failure. Okay, before releasing that laptop to market, company will do this debugging. Okay, they will check in the company itself. They will do quality inspection of the laptop. That is debugging phase. So chance failure is company has released the laptop to market and you have bought the laptop. Now we are expecting it to work for 8 years. That is the useful life period of a laptop. During this 8 years, if there is problem with the laptop, that is a chance failure. Okay. After 8 years, if the laptop fail, that is burnout. That means it has served for its useful life. Now, because of wear out and because of usage, it is going to fail. Okay, so that is the phase 3. Now, as a design engineer, you must concentrate on which phase, or considering the brand value of the company, okay, or considering the reliability aspect, that is gaining trust of the consumers. Which phase is crucial for a company? Or failure at which phase need to be avoided? Okay, failure at phase 2 need to be avoided. Okay, so since the product is in market and customers are expecting to work, expecting that it will work for the assured period of time. Okay, during this time, if the product fail, then that will affect the brand value of the company. Then the product, that will affect the reliability of the product. It will become unreliable. Okay. Failure curve. The product fails quite rapidly during the initial debugging phase, phase 1, and then again in phase 3 after it has served its useful life. Okay, as we discussed, so here you can consider this as total number of products, okay, and NS is the number of products surviving after operating time T. Okay, N is the total number of products. NS is the number of surviving. That means in working condition. T is the failure. Okay, in a batch of N, capital N, newly manufactured items are subjected to life test, and if we plot the number surviving NS after time period T, that will result in the curve as shown in this figure. Okay. The product fails quite rapidly during the initial debugging phase 1 and then again in phase 3 after it has served its useful life. Newly manufactured products have a relatively high rate of failure because of the undetected manufacturing errors that result in defective product being passed at the inspection stage. After this initial phase, the product settles down and renders useful service. During this period also some product fails because of a chance failure, but the rate of failure is relatively low compared to phase 1 and phase 3. After useful life T, the surviving units fail quite rapidly, again because they are beginning to wear out. Chance failures are governed by the laws of stochastic processes. Stochastic processes are nothing but these are the processes which are which vary randomly. Okay, so randomly varying processes are called as stochastic processes. This permits constructing mathematical models to understand the behavior of failures in phase 2 and draw conclusions about the reliability of a product or a system. Okay, if more number of products fail during phase 2, those products are considered as unreliable. The reliability of these products will be less. Reliability studies concentrate only on the zone of chance failures. That means, based on this only, consumers will consider a product as good or bad. Okay, based on when it will fail. Okay, next, reliability definition. We have discussed about reliability definition earlier also. Okay, how do you define reliability? Hmm? So when do you say a product is reliable? Hmm? So reliability is nothing but it is the probability of survival after its useful life. It is the probability of survival of a product after its useful life. That means if a laptop is working after 8 years also, that laptop is reliable. If the laptop fails after 4 years, that is unreliable. That means the assured life of laptop is 8 years, but it has failed after 4 years. Because of that failure before assured life, the product will become unreliable. Okay. Reliability of a component or a system for an operating time T is the probability of its survival after time T has elapsed. This time T is the useful life of the product or assured life of the product. Next, causes of unreliability. That means, what are the reasons why a product fail before its useful life? What are the reasons? Okay, you can start answering for this question. Okay, type your answers. What are the causes of unreliability? Why a product fail before its useful life? Type your answers. Okay, so those who have typed their answers, you will get some bonus points. Okay, for this. Okay, so you have identified correct reasons. Okay, these are some of the reasons for unreliability or the failure of the product. Okay, so one is mishandling by the user. Since, okay, so company has told you that you can use laptop for 8 years. ನಾನು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಅದನ್ನ ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ಟಾಪ್ ತೆಗೆದು ಬಿಸಾಕ್ತೀನಿ ಕುಗ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ಕಂಪ್ನಿ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ okay, so it cannot okay compensate for those types of claims. That's why there is companies will okay, so there was a network issue. Um, Okay, so as you identified, some of the causes of unreliability are, okay, so mishandling by the user. That means there is a user manual for every product. Okay, so if you don't follow those instructions, if you mishandled a product, and if there is some damage to the product, company will not compensate, even though it may be within the warranty period. ನಿಮ್ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಏನಾದ್ರು fault ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ, so definitely they will not compensate. So user also is having some responsibility. Okay, he has to follow the instructions given by the company. He has to handle it properly. Then bad quality. So this is because of the problem with the company. So for this type of errors, companies will exchange the product. You can give the defective product and you can take back new one if it occurs within the assured life, within the warranty period. Next, rough handling by user. Damages, again damages caused because of mishandling. Less knowledge of the end user, again if the user don't follow the instructions. Next, developing lubrication program. Okay. Over usage, poor materials. Again, this is the fault from the company. If company has used poor materials, okay, it has to compensate. Lack of information about the product given by the company to the users. Again, in the user manual, if the instructions are not properly mentioned, okay, then that will result in consequences like damages, internal damages, mishandling, defect in the components used. Okay, so like this you can list the reasons for unreliability. Okay, so design errors, then manufacturing defects, then non-adherence to prescribed maintenance plans, operation beyond design limits, environmental factors. Okay, these are some of the causes of unreliability. Out of these 5, which of the causes for which company is responsible? Out of 5, which are the causes for which company is responsible?
Manufacturing defects.
Manufacturing defects. Errors. Then design errors. Okay, for 1 and 2, company is responsible. Okay, for which causes user is responsible?
Operation beyond design limits.
Okay, so for 3 and 4, user is responsible. For 1 and 2, company is responsible. Then who is responsible for point number 5? Both. Then if a product fails because of environmental factors, do you think company will compensate for the loss to the consumer or the user of the product? No. Then how this issue will be resolved?
By paying bribe.
I think you recently heard a few months back a statement by one minister, okay, Minister of Union Government. She used a term, act of God. Okay, so even that is there in some of the crisis management situations. Okay, it is mentioned also. There is that act of God. So in this case also, for the cause, in causes of failure, the point number 5 is act of God. Okay, so that means that is not because of the user, that is not because of the company also, it is because of the environmental conditions. You can consider that as act of God, but ultimately consumer has to bear the cost of this act of God. Like citizens of this country are bearing the cost of that is not act of God, that is act of policy makers. That is a different issue. Okay, but here environmental factors are considered as you can, to some extent you can consider them as act of God, which are not in the control of the company or in the control of the user of the product. Okay, these are the causes of unreliability. Next, reliability and cost. So we know no one is ready, or any company uh, is not ready to sell products or produce any product to be in loss ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಯಾರು ಯಾವ ಕಂಪ್ನಿನೂ ನಡೆಸಲ್ಲ. Okay, so the intention of producing number of products and selling them in market, most of the times the one and only intention is to earn profit, to make money. Okay, so that is the primary motive of most of the business organizations. Without profit they don't do anything. For profit, even they may do some illegal things also, that is secondary. Okay, but so their primary motive is to earn profit. Here also, when it is about reliability, companies want to relate reliability with cost. Okay, if we are providing quality product to consumer, okay, what is the outcome for us? If we provide quality product, is it possible to earn more profit? That is the question for which, so always they expect answer. Okay, suppose if they find that even after providing a quality product, if they are not making enough money, then what is the use or what is the benefit for the company? Okay, so they have to make a balance between quality and profit. Okay, if they are directly related, then companies will go on increasing the quality of the product, and if they can earn more profit, they are satisfied with that. But always it doesn't happen. You know, even companies which will produce not quality wise, they are not up to the mark, then also companies are able to make a lot of profit. Like some of the Chinese companies, okay, they are good at manufacturing products at least cost by compromising with quality to some extent. But even though they are able to sell their products throughout the world, so now they are able to capture the almost entire world. Okay, so they are in that segment, so they are producing products in mass quantity and they are selling them throughout the world. Okay, so whereas some of the Japanese companies, they are famous for quality. Okay, so compared to Chinese companies, they may not make much profit even though providing products, okay, which are having very good quality. So that means at times you can make a relation between quality, reliability and profitability. Okay, at times it may not be possible to directly relate profitability and enhancing quality of a product or enhancing reliability of a product. Okay, so that's why, so in order to make a decision regarding if you want to improve quality of a product, to what extent you should improve, so you have to make this analysis of reliability and cost. Okay, so these are the general observations. Okay, and you can consider this in the point of view of a consumer. Okay, you are the user of the product. Initial cost is you have invested on the product. Okay, you will invest some money and you will buy a car, or you will buy a two-wheeler, or you will buy a laptop or mobile handset. That is the initial cost. After buying that car or mobile or laptop, so then you have to do servicing, you have to do maintenance. For that also again you have to invest. Okay, so that is the maintenance or operating cost. Okay, so this is this is based on market survey, based on observations done by experts. Okay, so if you buy a good quality product, the maintenance cost will be less or more. If you have two products, okay, consider two mobile handsets from Apple company and from Micromax. Okay, so the handset from Micromax will cost less, and the handset from Apple will cost more. But when it comes to maintenance, okay, which will cost more?
Apple.
Apple. Okay, so usually uh, you may disagree based on your, okay, but general perception is once if you buy Apple phone, okay, so it is having a brand value such that Apple phone will not, okay, so fail before its assured life. That is the brand image they are having. That means once if you invest on Apple phone, okay, so without repairing, without maintenance, without investing on maintenance, you can use it for its assured life. Similarly, if you buy a phone from unbranded or companies which doesn't have much brand value in the market, okay, initially you may have to invest less. Later, for repair, for maintenance, you have to invest more. This is a general perception. ಆದರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇರೆ ತರ ಇರ್ಬೋದೇನೋ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ಬಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿ ಜನರಲ್ perception. If you buy a quality product, initial cost will be high, whereas maintenance cost will be less. Okay, if you buy a unreliable product, okay, or unbranded product, initial cost is less, whereas maintenance cost is more. Okay, next, again, so to some extent it will be like that. Okay, then you have to consider the total cost. Okay, so there will be a break even point for this also. Okay, so there will be a, you have to make a balance. A quality, ಒಳ್ಳೆ quality product ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು you cannot go on investing money in terms of lakhs. Okay, consider the example. One company will say, okay, so we will come up with a mobile handset, okay, so which will last for 20 years and cost is 2 lakh. Another company will say, okay, so we will come up with our own handset which will cost 1 lakh and you can use it for 10 years. Which one do you prefer? Okay, mobile A will cost 2 lakh, life is 20 years. Mobile B, 1 lakh, life is 10 years. Which one do you prefer? B. Okay, Darshan, why do you prefer mobile B?
Technology will change. Technology change.
Okay, so after 10 years, you don't know what kind of new products, new mobile handsets will come into market. Okay, so you may get very well advanced mobile handsets even for even less cost. Okay, so when that is the case, why you need to invest more money to use a handset for 20 years? ಒಂದೇ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸೆಟ್ ನ 20 ಇಯರ್ಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ನೀವು ರೆಡಿ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಅನದರ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್. ಓಕೆ, ಒಂದೇ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ನಿಮಗೆ ಬೋರ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. ಓಕೆ, so like that there are many considerations when you are making a decision regarding service life of a product. Okay, so normally increasing the reliability of a product costs more to the manufacturer and hence they are priced high. So branded products always the cost of branded products are more. The reason is they will invest more to ensure quality. Okay, on inspection of the product they will invest more. They always try to eliminate defective products released to market. They will try to reduce them. Okay, because of that reason they have invested more. Okay, that is one thing. Next, however, the cost of maintenance incurred by the user reduces because of the reduced failures. That means branded products, if you buy, there is a minimum assured quality of those products. So because of that, the investment a user has to make for maintenance is less. On the other hand, a lesser reliable product may cost less initially but cost significantly for maintenance. Like if you buy a second hand car or used car, you know the consequences when it is compared with new car. Okay, so used car is having less reliability compared to a new car. There is a need for balancing the initial cost and maintenance costs and to identify optimum level of reliability. Okay, so I will wind up this class. If you have any questions, you can ask.